As the chosen, you have a trinity of powers: unnatural, natural, and supernatural. These three powers, they build on each other. So to get to the source, you must master all three.
Hello, my friends. Welcome to the YouNeek Show. My name is Roye Okupe. Today, I'm here to talk about Iyanu's powers. A lot of you ask me a lot of questions about how our powers work. Why does this happen here? Why doesn't this happen here? I'm here to address all of that. So, without further ado, let's get into Iyanu's powers. Welcome to the YouNeek Show, where we talk about all things YouNeek Studios, African geekdom, and the business of creators. Okay, so what exactly are Iyanu's powers and how do they work? Um, you know what? Let's actually have Shewa explain it first, and then I'll, do a deeper dive.
As the chosen, you have a trinity of powers: unnatural, natural, and supernatural. First is the energy of the unnatural. With this power, the chosen is able to harness the chaos inside of lifeless or unnatural objects.
That's amazing.
Next is the energy of the natural. This ability gives the chosen the power to manipulate all of plant life.
All of plant life?
Yes, with practice, you can even accelerate the growth of seeds.
Incredible.
Finally, there is the energy of the supernatural. The most difficult to master of the Trinity gives the chosen the ability to create divine constructs. And when you're strong enough, cure the corrupt. These three powers, unnatural, natural, and supernatural, they build on each other. So to get to the source, you must master all three.
Okay.
So far, your powers have been activated in response to conflict, and your body overloads with energy. That is why you pass out.
Yes, that makes sense.
You must learn to activate your powers from a place of peace to control the chaos within.
Got it.
You know, rushing through this will only delay your training.
I'm sorry, Mama Shewa. I meant no disrespect.
So, like Shewa said, Iyanu has three different powers: unnatural, natural, and supernatural. And as you can see, I love the word natural. But again, these things have a deeper meaning as to why they were put together this way. Let us start with the first one, the energy of the unnatural. This is Yano harnessing the potential energy from inorganic objects. By inorganic objects, I mean rocks, sand, obviously her bow and her arrow. So anything that's not organic, she can basically charge up with she can harness the potential energy in it and turn it into kinetic energy. So one of the easiest ways I always try to explain this to everyone is that if you think about Gambit, for instance, from the X-Men, Iana's powers are sort of similar to that. Like the same way he can charge objects and hurl them or throw them is something that is similar to Iana's powers. But with every level of Iana's powers, there's something that she needs to master in order for her to sort of like realize the full potential of what the power that she's trying to use for the energy of the unnatural, for instance. Iyanu has to master inner peace. And for inner peace, it's essentially her silencing the chaos within, so that she can harness the chaos that's outside of her in these different objects. And by chaos, right, the way I've used chaos, and this goes back to even the graphic novel, is chaos in this instance means the potential energy inside these inorganic objects. So again, for her to harness the chaos outside of her, she needs to master the chaos inside of her. This power is obviously Yano's go-to and a comfort zone because throughout season one, you see her going back to this again and again and again and again. And a lot of what you see in season one is her, first of all, learning how to master inner peace. So you can see here, she's actually able to charge. She's charging a rock here, and if you've seen if you've seen season one, I believe, no, I won't actually give out the episode, but this should look familiar to you because this was something that we also did in season one. So again, if you haven't checked out Iyanu, go ahead and check it out right now. All episodes are streaming. So one of the things I also wanted to point out is that Iyanu is able to use capoeira as she uses her powers. If you haven't seen my video on the different styles of capoeira, make sure you check that out. But these sketches were done by Darnell Johnson, one of our directors. And early on during the pre-production phase, we're trying to figure out, okay, how do we merge capoeira with her powers? And you can see here, she stomps on the ground, charges the rock, it lifts into the air, and then she kicks it and charges it again and hurls it at her opponent. And again, if you've seen some of the episodes in season one, you've seen her sort of do something similar. All right, next we have the energy of the natural. This power gives Iyanu control over all of plant life. So trees, vines, grasses. Grass, is that how you say? Is that plural or is it just grass? I think it's just grass. My bad. Grass and basically any type of plant life she's able to sort of like manipulate. So think of it like poison ivy without the poison, obviously, and swamp thing. So Yano, she's able to control plant life, and to master this ability, Iyanu has to learn how to um, Shewa uses oneness with everything. So essentially, she needs to be able to respect nature in order for her to be able to harness the power in nature. So when Shewa trains her about oneness with all things, she's essentially trying to treat Yano how to sort of like respect life itself. This power actually represents growth and harmony with nature, and this is also where Yano starts to understand her deeper connection with the world around her as well. So again, one of the things that very early on from the graphic novel, and obviously when we started to do the animation, I wanted to do was tie these powers to not necessarily feel. I didn't want them to feel random and just like, yes, they look cool, but it had to tie to different characteristics, whether again character characteristics, is that even something I can say together? But I digress. Basically, I wanted her to have something that she needed to achieve internally for her to be able to use the external power. So in the energy of the natural inner peace, making sure she's centered with the energy of the natural oneness with all things, basically respecting all life, respecting nature, because I felt like this gives Yanu actually a goal to sort of like live up to, as opposed to her just either charging up and just like, oh, like I have to summon all the power. Like it's actually tied to things that she has to do that benefits others, and benefits herself in the long run as well. And once again, you can see these are some early sketches from Darnell Johnson, as to, and shout out to Darnell. Like he was very, 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 very instrumental in getting us to visualize just how dynamic Iyano could use her powers. And you can see here how she's controlling vines and using them to like hurl herself in the air. Again, if you haven't checked out Iyano season one, why? Why not? Why haven't you done it? I mean, I can't understand it. Again, check it out. Streaming now. And the last one is the energy of the supernatural. This one is the most difficult to master for a for a very good reason, because it gives her incredible power. This is a fusion of the natural and the natural power, and it allows her to draw on spiritual energy from living beings, and as well as the remnant spiritual energy from the Age of Wonders. If you're asking what is the Age of Wonders, we've done an entire movie, a spin-off movie, Iyano, the Age of Wonders, goes into details. It's gods, divine beings, big worlds, big set pieces, great action with a very, very character driven story. So, again, if you haven't checked out Iyano season one or Iyano the movie, make sure you go and check it out, on streaming. But yes, one of the ways I try to describe this power is to think of it like Green Lantern. Again, not exactly the same. But again, Iyano is be able to use the energy of the supernatural to create constructs. So, for instance, if she needs to build a shield to protect herself, she's able to channel the energy of the supernatural. She doesn't use it a lot in season one, because again, this is a power that is really, 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 really difficult to master. But going further in season two, we get to see Iyanu continue to master the energy of the supernatural. And again, one thing that's tied, not one, the one thing that's tied to her using this power is empathy. This is a big one. Um, Empathy is sort of like an umbrella theme that we have throughout the show. There's some element of empathy, or at least us looking at Yano trying to have empathy in each and every episode. And I've been asked this question, why empathy? Like personally, I feel like we live in a world right now that could, we could all use a lot of empathy, a lot more empathy for each other. But empathy is not easy to master. It's not something that's easy to express, which is why it's again for me. I wanted to tie it to her most um, to the most powerful aspect of who she is. So again, empathy and mental focus. The more she cares about the world and the people around her, the stronger she becomes. Again, this is not just about power; it's about responsibility and also emotional maturity. Emotional maturity. Again, some of the some really really hard things to master. They're easy to say, but they're very 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 difficult to master. And that's it. Those are Iana's powers. What's your favorite one? Put it in the comments. Let me know. I'm dying to hear. If you have any questions, want me to elaborate on any more anything that confuses you about, not just Iana's power, but the show, anything about YouNeek Studios, all our other characters, put it in the comments. I read all the comments, so it'd be nice to hear from you and maybe answer your question and do a shout out to you in one of these shows. But once again, yes, each stage of Iana's powers mirrors a journey. Again, if you haven't seen season one, I urge you to check it out. HBO Max in the US, ITVX in the UK, Showmax in Africa, ABCiview in Australia, and Canada. I hear you. Canada and the rest of the world. I know you guys can't wait to get to Iana, but please bear with us. We're trying to find the right partnerships to be able to get the show out to you. So please stay tuned. But in the meantime, you can get the books. We have 4 volumes. Actually, volume 5 drops very soon. So we'll have 5 volumes, probably by the time this video is out. So you can check that out either in stores, or you can get all the volumes of the comic book on the YouNeek app. So I've talked enough. Want to hear from you. Put it in the comments. Until I see you. Peace out.